oolong tea with honey,
Wow.
and I've got this lovely new water bottle just filled with cold water.
That's a new water bottle. What
I
happened?
lost the old one.
Oh, the one that looks like
Well,
this.
no, I still have that one. I have to get a new filter, but I also have just a regular water bottle just to hold water, like not a filter thing.
Okay,
And I
work.
lost that one. Well, I think I know where it is, but it's too far gone now.
Okay, well, I've started recording.
You ever drink tea?
No, I'm not a big tea person, actually. More on the coffee side of things. What about you? You like tea?
I love tea, but I don't drink tea with honey. But like everyone kept saying because of my throat, they're like, drink tea with honey, drink tea with honey. So we're about to live on the pod. Let's find out what the deal is with tea with honey.
Oh, tell me, what kind of tea is it before you drink it?
It's oolong. I
Oh, you did. You
love.
you said that just before.
I might have, yes. Oolong tea is my favorite tea. In case someone wants to buy me a gift, but we're gonna.
Go for it. Take a sip right on the podcast. Yes, give me that good sipping ASMR.
Okay, that's actually rather pleasant.
Well, Pat, explain to everyone what's going on with you. What's going on?
Okay. Here's the deal. The diva, the doll is broken.
Ah,
I know exactly when I got sick because it was the weekend that RuPaul's Drag Race All Star Season 7 premiered.
oh, oh,
I went to a little watch party, just me, my boyfriend, and a couple we know, so four people total. And somehow I was the only healthy one there. And the three of them were in some stage of sickness. So that was on Friday. That Sunday, I started to feel not so great. And it has been like that ever since. My main symptom, coughing. It's just like
what
my
about
throat,
wheezing?
little wheezy. No, little Yeezy Wheezy. That should be a rapper name.
There's definitely a rapper out there named Little Yeezy somewhere. I mean, come on now.
I mean, come on now. Anyway, my throat hurts, but only because I just keep coughing. Like my muscles. You know what the real tea is besides this tea. The
Realty,
real
like
tea.
properties,
The re-
like real estate.
no, the real tea is when you have consistent, uncontrollable coughing, your abs get such a workout.
Ah, do you have a six pack
Because
now?
my first two abdominal like rows, they're so tight right now.
Oh, they're getting defined. You're gonna have a six pack.
I know from being sick. Also, my appetite's pretty shitty, so I'm not even eating anymore. So I'm getting even thinner than I already was. So now I'm just skin and bone for all of you
my,
lucky men out there
my
with like a little skeletal
goodness.
action.
Here I am trying to get a six pack by working out when really I should just get sick
Let me
apparently.
cough directly into your open mouth.
No, thank you. Well, on Friday you can
Although,
cough into my open mouth.
well, here's the thing. I went to the doctor. They were like, "Oh, you've been coughing for 2 weeks now. You had negative rapid test for COVID. You probably have bronchitis caused by a bacterial infection." I'm like, "Work." I get
Work.
put on doxycycline. It hasn't really done anything. Slay.
Mm.
And I have just been taking Delsum, and now I'm on Mucinex DM and these cough drops. And I mean, no one around me is getting sick. So I think I might be out of maybe the contagious phase, especially since I'm almost done my antibiotics. So, I really hope that if it hits the 3 week mark on Sunday, I hope I
Yeah.
just die.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, you can't die before I give you your interview for Pride Month. Hello, everybody.
Oh
I'm going to
my
intro us in real
God.
quick. Hello,
Okay.
everybody. Welcome back to another riveting episode of the What Did the Gays Think podcast. This is the second installment of our Pride
Mm,
Month series. Last time, Pat gave me an interview
mm,
to learn more about me. And now
mm.
I have some interview questions for you, Pat. We're going to learn more about you today.
Oh my God, I'm so ready. Let me just get another big slurp of my tea.
Oh, and let me get that good ASMR. I don't think it
Did
came through.
my mic is too not sensitive, I should say. My mic's not sensitive.
All right, so Pat, you ready?
Yes, I was born ready.
Okay. Well, how do you identify? Because you asked me this question. So how do you
Corpse.
identify? Oh, okay.
Right now, no, my he him cisgendered male faggot.
Oh,
It's
with
okay.
the
I'm
hard
reclaiming the word.
T.
I'm reclaiming the word.
It's okay. Don't cancel me. We're claiming the word.
Love that line. Love it. Yes, that's how I identify. My name is Patrick. In case
Ah,
anyone wants to know.
I think most people who are listening to this probably already know, but thank you for letting me know.
You're welcome.
And
Um,
in 3 words, what does pride mean for you?
oh my God. 3 word. 3 words. Honestly, partying.
Oh,
I mean, that's just every time I celebrate Pride, I party. It
it be that way.
doesn't necessarily mean like getting wasted or high. It just means like having a festivity. So like partying, community, obviously,
Hmm.
and capitalism.
Capitalism. Why
Yeah,
capitalism?
because I feel like capitalism kind of co-ops the month to make money off of us.
Oh, um, uh, you know what? Being that you bring up that topic, this is a question I had a little bit later in my list, but
Mm,
being that you brought it up, I was gonna say, what's your opinion on rainbow capitalism? Do you think it's a
mm.
problem?
I think it's a problem when it stops at the end of June,
Oh,
you know. I think companies, companies that aren't explicitly queer owned and queer supporting, like your big companies like your Nikes or your Apple or whatever,
hmm.
they should do more than just capitalize on the 1 month out of the year for their queer community, especially the queer people that work for them, and should really support and uplift them all year round. And also, I feel like when it comes to, Pride merchandise or Pride themed whatever they're selling, it has to give back to the community. So,
Hmm.
you know, Nike's not going to lose money if during Pride Month they say any Pride merch you buy, 50% is going to go to some, Pride organizations. Like it's going to go to, what's that big one? Um,
The Trevor Project.
the Terror Project, yeah.
There
Things
you
like
go.
that. Like you have to give back to the community you are basically capitalizing off of. Yeah. What?
You didn't finish. Yeah, I thought you were gonna finish the sentence. You said.
But they should give back to the community that they're capitalizing off of. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I thought you had more in the sentence there, but
No,
I got.
listen. My throat. I don't know if I could handle anything too long. If you know what I mean, ladies.
Okay, work.
Say,
Slay. Okay, we're gonna go back in my list of questions now. I
yeah.
talked a little bit in the past. I don't know if it was last episode or in a previous episode at some point. I talked a little bit about like what my relationship with my family is like, in terms of like how they feel about me being gay and everything.
Mm.
So my question is, what is like your relationship with your not necessarily immediate family, but like your generic family like? Do they support you? Like what is that like?
Um. All right. Uh, I'll I'll give you the examples of what happened when I came out, and then people
Yeah.
can obviously draw the conclusions out from that. When I came out to my parents, well, actually, I came out to my sibling first. They were fine with it. Their
Yeah.
husband was like, I knew.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't hiding it. My mom said I didn't know, and I was like, how could you not know?
Oh.
My stepdad said, okay. And, between my mom and my stepdad, my mom was more just worried about me getting assaulted because, that happens.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, what she didn't understand is that I'm also a white man, so it's going to be way less likely to happen to me,
Oh.
but
And I.
could.
Oh.
So she totally fair. My father, um, well, I didn't tell him myself. I'm pretty sure my
Mm.
sibling told him because I was worried about his response. And when I did tell, or when he did find out, he spoke to me and said, he always has this line of like, I love you no matter what. Like, you're my son. I love you no matter what. You can be anything you want to be. I still love you. Now, someone listening might go, oh my God, that's so sweet.
Ah.
That's so nice. But some context for you, this was a man who sort of made fun of, to put it gently, my effeminate behavior when I
Mm.
was younger, and also made me aware of certain gay things when I was very young, and it was always in a humorous light. Like
Mm.
these things about being gay were, well, either they were a joke or they were like not scary per se, but not something you want to happen to you. So even though he was very much like, I love you no matter what,
Mm.
I didn't take it with the full sincerity that he was giving it. And then of course my extended family, I mean my mom's side's basically all dead.
Oh.
Um, I mean a lot of them are dead and I don't speak to them because, it's not a very connected family. My dad's side
Well,
is
if a lot
they're
of them are dead, then I'm assuming you can't speak to them.
first of all, I have a Ouija board, so
From
and you don't know,
Phasmophobia.
I'm also a medium.
Okay, work.
I'm actually a small in pants, honey.
All right.
Losing all this weight.
All right, work. After getting your
um,
abs from working out.
oh my
Oh,
god,
sorry,
so
from being sick. Yes.
so tight.
Mm.
My father's extended family, they were fine with it. When they found out, really my grandmother just said, "Don't put it on Facebook." And I was like, "Why?" She goes, just in case an employer wants to look at it. I was like, "What does that mean?"
Mm.
She goes, "Well, you don't know if people are gonna respond." And I was like, "I think you're homophobic."
Oh, I
Um,
mean,
I didn't s- I didn't say that to her directly, but I definitely felt it.
yeah, well, at the time that may be a valid concern, but not, I feel like not really anymore because I think there was a Supreme Court decision somewhere that said now you cannot be fired anywhere for sexual orientation. I'm pretty sure.
I hope. I think we should know, given that we run a gay podcast. We should know this, but apparently we don't. We'll have the producer fact check it. We'll slide it
I'm
somewhere.
the producer.
Shh, don't tell them that we're only a team of two.
uh,
The
next question. Next question.
Oh, yes, tell me.
What is your relationship like with God?
Do you mean Ariana Grande?
No,
Because God is a woman, mama.
God is what? No, like what's your relationship like with religion, and how did you get there?
You want me to get real deep?
Yeah, this is what this podcast episode is about. I'm trying to learn more
Uh,
about you, and so are our listeners.
all right. When I was younger, my mom basically said, "I'm gonna put you through CCD." For
Mm.
people who don't know, CCD is basically like kind of like Sunday school. You go to usually a church that has like some school component to it. You just learn about you just really learn how to be a quote unquote good person. You don't really learn much about actual religion.
Oh,
Um, to be honest, you really don't. Like you don't really do I didn't do Bible readings really.
well,
It
you
was a
didn't go
lot
to
of
my
like,
CCD then, because we did
thank
Bible
God.
readings.
Thank God. Like we did like Genesis. That was about it.
Yeah.
Um, and the stories we talked about were always like not on the original text of the Bible, usually some sort of a worksheet that had the story been, like basically sort of sanitized for young people. Because I don't
Mm.
know if you know this, but the Bible sometimes has some weird shit in it.
A little bit.
Some weird, graphically violent shit.
I think I blocked out most of CCD, honestly. So even if they did talk about those stories, I don't remember.
And then you learn about what the Stations of the Cross. You do your little communion, your
Yeah.
confirmation, your first, what's it called? Well, the first communion, but also when you
Uh,
go talk to the priest
oh,
about what you did
confession?
wrong.
Confession?
Confession, yeah. So my mom put me through that because, she wanted me to have the opportunity to learn just in case I vibed with it. And also, her reasoning was in case you want to get married in a church one day.
What?
And I said, I don't want to. And she goes, well, what about your wife? And I was like,
Oh.
little do you know, I'm not going to have a wife. So, but very early on, I realized that it was a sham because my grandmother, when she was alive, she's no longer with us.
Mm,
My grandmother, when she was alive, was for a very good part of her life paralyzed from the waist down.
mm.
I believe she's para, not quad. And for a long time, my mom told me it's because she was in a car accident. In reality, my grandmother was mugged and stabbed multiple times.
Oh,
And my mom, when I got to a certain age, finally told me the truth. And I think it was by accident. I think my sibling might have said it because my sibling's older and she knew.
mm,
They knew, right? Um, I was like, there's no way the things I learned in CCD about this benevolent dude in the sky can be real if he's letting, a mother of, three, because my grandmother had three kids, get jumped and stabbed a dozen
mm.
times and spend the rest of her life in a hospital and then inevitably died of cancer.
That is
So,
that is a good point.
yeah, so I realized very early on that it was, at least for me, not for anyone else, for me, it was a bit of bullshit.
Mm. I feel you. How when you say early on, when would you say this was?
Oh, elementary school,
Wow, so
sometime
very
in,
early on.
yeah, the whole facade of I believed in Santa longer than I believed in God.
Oh,
You want to know how I found out about Santa?
how'd
My
you find out
dad
about it?
didn't do a good job about hiding the gifts, and he already wrote from Santa on them.
Oh, I believed in Santa for quite a while too. Um,
Yeah,
it be that way.
you know what? I think it's more believable than God because
Oh,
Santa is all benevolent. I mean, yeah, he'll give bad kids cold, but he doesn't like send them to hell.
you know what? And you know why Santa's more believable too? Is because there's like evidence in the real world of his existence, even though it's fake evidence. Like obviously,
Oh, right.
like the cookies being eaten, for example. Like obviously your parents are
Yeah.
faking it, but at least there's evidence to support it.
Hmm. No, it's exactly right. I've never seen any evidence of God or Jesus in the real world.
Of God.
God, good God.
Follow up question to follow up a
Hmm.
little bit on this.
Yeah, tell
Do
me.
you feel like there's ever a future where queer people and
Hmm.
religious people can, like, I don't know, reconcile their differences? Because there's so much strife between them right now. So, do you think
Hmm.
there's a future where both can coexist peacefully?
Um. I mean, coexist peacefully, sure. I mean, at some point, I'm hoping that can happen. I mean, not for some extreme religious zealots, obviously, they will never kind of come around to it. But I think when you're part of a institution that subjugates another group of people, disavows them, doesn't want them to have the same rights as you, says that they are less than you, it's kind of hard to find middle ground when you're starting from such a shitty place to start at. Yeah.
Hmm.
So I don't. I mean, coexist. Yeah. I mean, I coexist with religious people all the time. I mean, I don't really enjoy them, but I
Oh,
coexist with them. I'm not going out there murdering religious people. But I mean, yeah.
they're going out murdering LGBTQ the people, though. I mean,
Well, well.
I wouldn't necessarily say coexisting peacefully at the moment, but
I feel like the queer community is a lot more open to coexisting peacefully than the religious community is. So
mm,
I think there could be something in the future, but like I said, when you're starting from a point of where one group assumes the worst in the other, that, they're pedophiles or that they're going to
mm.
hell or that they are disgusting or that they're ruining kids' lives and groomers, and it's just a hard place to start out with.
Yeah, work diva. Um, in your opinion, do you believe that, or sorry, what do you believe that the pride movement should be focusing on right now? Because like right for a while we focused on like marriage equality, and then right we got that, right?
Hmm.
What do you think is the most important issue for like the pride movement to be focusing on right now?
Transgender and non-binary members of the community that legislature has not been very kind to.
Mm.
So, I mean, obviously the coalition of queers should be sort of advancing on all fronts. You know, now that we know about Roe v. Wade not
Mm.
being a sure thing anymore, gay marriage might be the next thing we're not sure about. So, definitely shoring up our rights that we do have, and then obtaining more rights for people who should have them. So, for transgender non-binary people, protections against wrongful firing just based on the fact that they're trans, or being able to perform in certain sports even though their assigned gender does not match the gender they're now expressing or the sex that they now identify as. Um, Simple things like being able to transition without it being a criminal act.
Oh my god,
Just the basics, right?
I saw something going around about like something in Florida where someone was like, we should ban transitioning at all ages, not just for children. And I was like, here we go.
God.
We knew that we knew this was gonna happen. We told y'all, but here we go. And they talk about freedom of whatever, freedom of being your own person, and they take that away.
Like I think I've said on this podcast before, but I'll say it again. Transitioning should be between the person who wants to transition and any sort of medical professional. So I'm not a doctor, so I don't know, but I assume that transitioning as a child might just be detrimental to their health because of certain hormone imbalances. I don't know if that's true. Doctors, please sound off. But I think that would be the only caveat to transitioning, would just be figuring out at what developmental stage is best to transition. And that's
Mm,
not about withholding transitioning. That is about just making sure the person healthily does it. And of course, there's
yep.
the aspect of socially transitioning. So if you can't medically transition, or if you don't want to medically transition because you don't have to, you can socially transition. And that should be an easier process as well, such as changing your pronouns on your, social security driver's license information, whatever. Or, instituting non-gendered pronouns on official documents. Like that should be something we can do.
Um, uh, you know what? This follows nicely into my next question because we are both cisgendered gay men, and
Oh my
obviously,
God.
I know, right? Obviously, we're trying to, keep up to date on the latest issues, especially around the transgender community. Making sure that we learn, making sure that we understand the issues that are happening. Um, as a person, as a gay man who has came out relatively early in his life, referring to you,
Yes.
earlier than me, obviously.
Mm.
Um, uh, what? How did you start like learning about the transgender community, and like what did that process look like for you? Like learning about it.
Oh my God, that's such a nice question. Oh my God. Let me think. Um, I mean, I think a lot of it initially was problematic. I think the first things I did hear about were probably things from just like late night news,
Mm,
or particularly violence against usually trans women of color. You'd hear about stories on the news of, the people getting murdered, beaten, jumped, robbed, whatever. So I think that was the first bit of news about the transgender community, was probably just negative because of the way of our society operates. But in terms of actually learning about what it really was about, which I'm still learning because I don't obviously know everything. Um, Honestly, adult TV, like
mm,
HBO, Showtime. Now, those series, especially when I was younger, even today, don't do very well with spotlighting trans storylines.
yeah.
Back then, for certain, they were not doing that.
Oh
But I
yeah.
feel like it was, because I'm very big into film and television. So it was probably something through there where I just first learned about, what it meant. Of course, it was probably some bastardized definition. And then honestly, it was just Google.
Hmm.
Like I recall very vividly when I was struggling with my sexuality, going on little gay chat rooms,
Hmm.
having my little online flings with people who
Ooh.
said they were my age but were probably much older.
Ooh.
Um, I remember just going online and Googling things like, a very much if someone's seen Heartstopper, where the kid just Googles like gay test.
Yeah. Did you take the
Like
gay
it,
test?
like I didn't take it. No, it was more like signs that you are gay, and it just listed them. So, I mean, that's not actually unheard of thing. So, especially since our generation growing up was the first with like Google and
Yeah.
just having all this information at our fingertips, it wasn't all good information, that's for sure. It wasn't curated as well as some places are now, especially because the trans community was extremely underrepresented back then online. I'm assuming it's
Mm.
better now. But yeah, it was a lot of just Googling like um just Googling certain simple things like uh, uh, the slur that I won't say for transgendered people, like what that meant versus transvestite, transgendered, transsexual. Um, yeah, it was just a lot of Googling, but I think at first it was a lot of negative connotations that I got. But that's
Mm.
the same thing with the queer community in general. I feel like a lot of our initial, at least in our generation and prior, maybe now with kids growing up with shows like Heartstopper, it's not as bad. But the first thing you always hear about is something awful.
Mm. Definitely so. I could definitely remember some not fun comments being made in high
I know you
school.
talked about something on last episode.
Yeah, but I'm also talking about not fun comments about transgender people too in my head as well
Oh,
from different people, but similar circumstance. High school men or high school boys, they're not nice.
no, they're not. And I was probably included in that. I probably said some unsavory things as well.
Well, haven't we all?
I know. I remember you looked at me in the eye one day in senior year and just called
And
me a
I
faggot.
called you fag,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, that never happened. That never
Imagine,
happened.
imagine.
I would have been gagged. I would have been like, "Oh, he's right. He's right though."
He's right. He's right. Oh, that's great to learn about. I will say for me personally, even though this isn't my interview,
No, tell me. I want to know.
I will say for me personally, I mean, I didn't come out until I was like 20. And then I didn't meet like anyone who was transgender until like maybe I was 21. Um, I think someone who was transgender was in my class, and I got to talk with them, got to learn about them, and that was great for me because I had never really communed with anybody in the transgender community before, even though I was
Immune.
out at the time. Communed.
I feel like that's very much like you just sat in front of each other and just opened
And
your minds to
meditated.
each other. Yeah. That should be how we communicate from now on.
Oh my god, yeah. And then obviously like online platforms, I honestly like at the time Tumblr, but
Tumblr,
nowadays
yeah.
TikTok, um,
Yeah,
a
honestly,
breadth of
Tumblr.
information.
Um, for all you kids out there, Tumblr used to be a cool space, with a lot of porn
Oh, lots of porn, yeah.
and good porn. And now it's like whatever. It's
Mm.
not as good.
And they got rid of porn. I think
Yeah.
I still have my Tumblr, even though I have not opened that app in God knows how long.
I deleted mine, and I remember when I did, a couple of friends were like, "Why would you delete it?" I was like, "'Cause I don't want it anymore."
Oh, because they didn't have porn anymore.
I deleted it before the porn was gone. I was an
Oh, you deleted
OG.
it before it was cool to delete it.
Yeah, exactly. You know what? Because I found my porn elsewhere.
Oh, that high
And
quality. That Do you have high quality porn? Do you pay for porn?
okay. I have subscribed to an OnlyFans or two.
Hmm. Hmm.
What you do is you hit the subscription, then you immediately cancel it. So you've just paid for 1 month
Right. Right. Right.
because you don't want to keep it on that subscribe. Because no
Yeah.
one, okay, for anyone who wants to, any adult who wants to make an OnlyFans, not a child. If you're a child, why are you here? For any adult who wants to make an OnlyFans, there's something you need to know. If you're going in to make a adult content pornographic OnlyFans, you need to like set an appropriate price for what you're producing.
Mm.
High quality OnlyFans release content on a regular schedule, and it's a variety of content: videos, pictures, different types of videos, short ones, long ones, group ones, solo ones, and they're also at appropriate price range. No one should be paying over like $10 a month for an OnlyFans, but you
Mm.
got all these people charging more than $10. And if you don't produce content regularly, that number should drop accordingly.
Oh
And
my
that's
god,
all I'll
I
say.
can't I can't imagine like what some like for straight men. I can't imagine how much money straight men are putting into like some of the OnlyFans girls out there. I can't imagine. Some of them probably got like $25 a month for like feet pics, and I don't know
It's
what's going
not.
on in the heterosexual community, honestly.
I haven't been a part of it for a very long time. I wouldn't know.
Mm.
I don't watch heterosexual pornography, but I will say there are a few OnlyFans that I've found to be every once in a while you come back after a couple months, they have a few new stuff. You look at it and you're like, oh.
Oh, look at that.
But I've never paid for porn like in other ways. I've only just every so often. It's, I don't pay for Diablo Immortal. I don't use their microtransactions. I put it towards OnlyFans. I'm supporting an artist. I mean,
There you go. You're not supporting a potentially problematic company, but instead you're supporting sex workers, which we love that.
tea,
I'm not calling anybody. Yeah, tea. You're drinking it.
tea, mama, tea.
Next question. Do you
Yeah.
think that Pride deserves a whole month?
No.
No.
Sorry. No, I mean everyone's got not everyone. A lot of people got months, or weeks. I don't know. I feel like because it goes back to like shouldn't we be uplifting each other the entire year round? Like shouldn't we be celebrating ourselves the
Yeah.
entire year round? I think it's nice to have a designated time, especially I love that Pride Month is in the summer.
Hmm.
I can go out and wiggle. And I think having a designated time of the year to celebrate helps people, be able to produce content they want to release, collaborate, put on, parades, spectacles, fundraise. I think it's good to have a time to focus your energy for the community that's not year round, something special for us. We deserve. Okay, let me qualify this. I, as a cis white gay man, don't really deserve anything.
Oh.
But the community deserves time to celebrate itself. Um, and if that's a whole month, that's great. I mean, you've got prides all over the world happening, and sometimes they even happen, next month or in August. But
Mm.
having this time to really, it's so commercial now and it's so capitalistic now with all of the brand deals and the burritos you can buy and the bags with rainbows on them.
Homo estás.
¿Cómo estás? Estoy bien. Um, it's just, it's commodified to a point where it's a bit ridiculous and a bit of a parody of itself. But I think at the end of the day, when I'm out at a pride parade or I'm at a pride event with my friends, my queer friends, and even my allies, it's something special. And I think having a time for it, whether it be a week, a two, or a whole month, it's good to have. So yeah, give us a month. Give the big girl some shots. Reagan fucked us up.
Oh, I live. Can you
Did you
believe it?
see?
I think we're both going to say the same thing.
Oh my God. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Wasn't it like they had, I don't remember what it was. It was like a memorial or
The
something, a big
unveiling
picture of
of
Nancy
the
Reagan.
stamp for Nancy Reagan. And
Yeah.
I was like, because the first lady unveiled it. Um, what's her name?
Kamala Harris?
No, the first lady.
Oh, Joe Biden.
That's no, that's the president. What's his wife's name?
Jill Biden. Jill Biden, that is her
You
name.
said you said Joe at first.
No, I said Jill. They sound
I can't
similar.
I can't wait till you listen to this podcast and you hear you say the first lady is Kamala Harris and then it's Joe Biden. Fuck me. Okay, so
It's Jill Biden. It sounds close to
Jill,
Joe Biden.
Jill, fucking Christ. Miss Biden, Mrs. Biden unveiled the stamp, the like memorialized stamp for Nancy Reagan, the throat goat.
The
Or was
throat
that,
goat.
wait, was Nancy Reagan the throat goat? Yeah.
Yes.
Or was it Carter's wife? I don't
No,
know.
Nancy Reagan. I mean, Carter's wife could have been throat goat too. I don't know.
You know what? They're probably all throat goats.
Mm.
Um, and it's just they picked the weird month for it because Nancy Reagan's husband, Ronald Reagan, if you had listened to one of our previous episodes about the AIDS epidemic, kind of knew about the severity of it before he spoke about it in a way that was kind, and never really spoke about it in a way that was kind to the queer community, specifically gay men who were being sort of ostracized and allowed to kind of just die.
Yeah, he did nothing
So
about it for a really long time.
it's very odd that they would celebrate Nancy Reagan during the month where Ronald Reagan is vilified, as he should be.
Yeah, where we celebrate Ronald Reagan's demise,
He died in Pride Month.
which good. Okay.
I'm
Anyway,
pretty sure. Oh God, good death to all of them.
death to all of them. Here's a controversial question. Ready for this?
Oh my God, yes, tell me.
We talked about kink at Pride, right? That was we talked about that last year.
Yeah.
Do you think that cops belong at Pride?
Oh,
This is
oh
another
dear.
controversial one that I've seen making
Oh
its rounds
dear.
on TikTok again.
Um, I bring it back to what I said about the religious community,
Mm,
where there is not a good history with the religious people with the queer community, and there's not a good history between cops or institutionalized police and the queer community. Especially when you layer on the fact that a lot of persecuted members of the queer community are people of color and transgendered people, which also don't have a great history with the police.
mm-mm.
So, I personally, and this might be controversial, I do not want to see police people walking in the parade, especially if their whatever institution continues to be violent towards people of color, which are a big part of our queer community and have a very um not great history with us. I mean, the question becomes like, well, well, you need cops there to keep everything in order, so there's no like violence. And I'm like, I understand if you want to have police like sort of bordering off areas of the city where the parade happens or whatever. Or if you want the police to stand by the religious zealots
Mm.
that always hang out on like 2 blocks in the New York City Pride, and they're always there with their fucking signs. Sure.
God hates
But
fags.
he does. He does, but we don't need to be reminded that he does. But I don't personally want to see them walking in the parade. I'm sorry, I don't think they've done enough for the queer community and haven't given back enough. And I think also there's a lot of other controversial things happening with cops in modern day,
Mm.
and I don't think that shines very well on them either.
We're
So
gonna have a
it's
lot to talk about. I know we're doing our Pride specials, but we're gonna have a lot to talk about at the end of June when we go back to our regularly scheduled content.
oh yeah, we're gonna have to catch up.
We're gonna have to catch up on a lot of events that have happened recently.
Don't worry, we're making a list. We're checking it twice.
Santa's real.
Schindler's List.
Sh- Okay.
Great movie.
If God was real
Okay.
and they said being gay is a sin, if you do it, you're
They?
going to hell, would you still be gay?
They?
Well,
God is a
yeah.
man.
If a God does exist, in my opinion, if a God does exist, it would be outside of our concept of gender. So
Right,
yes.
right. If he said that, or they said that being gay meant I was going to hell, would I still be gay?
Yeah.
Absolutely, sis. Absolutely. You think I'm gonna start fucking women now? Nothing against women. No, this isn't about women.
Mm.
This is about fucking men is too good. And you think I want to start fucking women?
Incredible.
No, I mean no. I'd still say I'm gonna be gay. Being gay is just great. I mean, I'll say it. This is gonna be a little controversial. Not even controversial. This is gonna be a little maybe shocking to hear for some people, but being a white gay man, it's really nice. And
Okay, work.
this isn't to sort of um minimalize the experiences of non-white uh people like gay people of color. It's not to minimize their experiences. It's to tell people that in my experience, being white cis gay is the easiest way to exist in the queer community while still enjoying all of your other privileges.
If you're gonna look at the queer community hierarchy of privilege, then yeah,
Yeah.
white
Like
cis
I'm not
gay
saying
men are
they're
at the
the
top.
best. They're at the top not because they're the best. In fact, most times I find them to be the
Oh,
worst.
they're the worst. Absolutely, yeah.
But in terms of the amount of privilege they have, we have, I have, whatever. I've never ever in my life have really faced a struggle because I was gay. Because I am a little, if I don't open my mouth, I'm kind of straight passing.
Oh,
The moment I open my mouth, though, it's like,
oh my
and
god, a
they know.
faggot. Oh my god.
But I enjoy so much of that privilege. So I mean, yeah, it's tough, but I would say the reason I just brought this up was I would just say now that it's Pride Month,
Hmm.
if you're in the queer community or if you're outside of it, reflect on reflect on the privilege you have versus those within and outside of your community and how you are choosing to support those that have less than you do. Or if you don't, maybe you should start. So for all my white cis gay men out there, Hunty,
Hunty.
we exist. Well, I should say we exist. We enjoy so much of our language, dialect, accent, our culture, our TV shows, our art, our movies, our music that's for us because of really transgendered and people of color within our community. So, when you when you watch Drag Race or you say, all of this really gay stuff, a lot of it does not come from your particular culture. It came from someone else's that
Hmm.
they are injecting into the queer community to share. So you really need to understand where it comes from and respect it and also uplift it because it is not originally, yours to claim ownership of if you're not going to help support it.
Oh my god, slay. Slay. Here's my last question for
Sorry.
you.
Oh, tell me.
Do you have any
Top or bottom?
do you have any do you have any advice for young people who are potentially navigating queerness for the first time?
Yeah. Oh, I've got tons of advice. Um, okay.
What's like your best piece of advice then?
Oh, God. Oh God. Oh
Good
God.
God, girl, get a grip.
There's so much because we we're not old, but I'm
Ugh.
28. I'm almost 30. I've been out. I mean, I've known I was gay for almost 20 years now. I've been out for uh 11 11 11
11?
11 years. Been out for 11 years. I've known I was gay for almost 20. I've got a lot of experience built up. So, I mean, the classic bit of advice that I would always give people who are trying to figure out where they fit in the queer community or if they themselves are part of it do not come out if you do not feel it is safe. As an attachment to that, do not come out for do not come out because you're being pressured to for someone else. Don't feel you have to come out as something that you may not feel you are. Hint, hint, people. Don't just willy-nilly come. Like, if you really think you are something, go for it. But if you know within your heart of heart that you're not really bisexual, but you're just saying that because you want to appease your mom that she might get a grandchild out of you one day, don't say it.
Don't say it.
Don't say it. Don't say it. Just wait until you feel comfortable with what you really are, what you believe you are at that moment, because you can change. People can vacillate. Sexuality, gender, all spectrums, sliding scales, Kinsey scale.
Kinsey.
Although Kinsey scale may not be that
Yeah,
accurate, but
isn't that like? Yeah, I think he's a little problematic. Anyway.
I mean, it's like a good like starting point, sure. But anyway, don't come out. Period.
Don't come out.
No, no, no. Don't come out until you are safe. You have a community of people or just one person you can rely on, in case it does go south, because sometimes it does. Um, and don't feel pressured to come out by anyone else, to come out at all, or to come out as something that you feel you are not. Um, I think that's like the best advice, because the coming out process is never over.
It is
You
indeed never
constantly
over.
have to come out. As you get older, who you come out to just changes, not the actual coming out process. So the first time you do it, it should be as easy or as pleasant or as accurate as an experience as you can get. Obviously, sometimes it's going to go sour. It's going to go south, but that's when you need to have your support system there to catch you, so that the next time you have to come out to someone, whether it's at like a job, a family function, a new group of friends, you have that first experience to sort of work off of, and you can temper your expectations for how the experience is going to go. But I mean, there's so much other advice. There's like honestly, just Google it. I'm
Google it.
serious. I'm serious, yo. Like, there's so many sexualities and gender expressions now. There's something for everyone. Like, online communities are always, that's not always. Online communities are a good place to start, especially if you're someone who does live in a small town or a conservative area or doesn't have a lot of like in-person friends or family that's understanding. So Google it. Like, hey, my penis gets hard when I look at men, and I'm a man. Like, what's up with that? Or like, hey, like, I
Turn
want
on your
someone
private mode on your browser first, though.
I want someone to like chomp on my clit. It's first of all, the
Clear
whole
your
privacy
browser
thing.
history.
I
Clear your
don't.
browser history.
I don't. You should if you want to, obviously. I don't. You want to know why I don't?
Why?
Because no one's looking at my computer. It's fine. I live an adult. But even so, like, I'm not putting on private mode when I go on my OnlyFans accounts that I subscribe to, or Pornhub, because like, who cares?
What?
Your internet provider can still track that information. They still know where you go.
Oh yeah, I was talking more about like for these young kids who
Oh, well,
don't
yeah.
want people to know
Yeah.
that they are queer. Like, yeah,
And
clear your
again, all young people now have like iPods. Whoop. How
iPods.
I'm dating myself. I'm dating myself in the worst way. They all have iPads and iPhones and laptops, and they got their own personal computer. I'm sure they can, you know,
Mm,
clear the browser. But yeah, just Google it. Like, honestly, like, you got questions? The internet has a variety of answers.
my God, do you remember iPods? That was a thing for a
I
while.
s- I loved the iPod. I had an iPod Touch before I had a smartphone, and I thought it was like the coolest thing.
And then you just got a phone. You're like, wow, it's an iPod and a phone at the same time.
I know, and I was like, can you imagine that? Like, this phone, um, it's an iPod.
It is an iPod, yeah,
Isn't that wild?
but
Like,
it's
it's so wild because like when we were growing up, they were two separate things, and the idea of having just a music platform or device to hold a billion songs was such a wild thing. I don't know about you, but when I was a kid, I still had a fucking CD player like Walkman thing with headphones plugged into it.
Oh, I had a CD player. I had a CD
And when
player,
I,
and then I had one of those little dinky iPods that wasn't a smart one. It was just a little
yeah,
dinky one. Like,
yeah, like I had the iPod Shuffle that was just a USB stick. And you just had play, forward, back, and shuffle. You couldn't see the song. You didn't know what the power level was without clicking the stupid side button and getting that little green dot to show up. And you just have to keep clicking to find the song you wanted.
ah.
Oh God, kids have it so easy.
Dating
They got
ourselves
they
again.
they've got iPhones, they got Heartstopper, they've got fucking oh honey, I didn't love Victor. I saw a review of it, the season 3.
Was it good?
I
Was it bad?
I think we're gonna have things to talk about when we
Oh
watch it.
no. Okay, okay, work. Is it out yet? I
Anyway,
need to watch it if it's
no, I
out.
think that was an early. Oh wait, I'll check.
Okay, work. We have a lot of stuff to talk about. We have, oh my God, shut up.
Oh my God,
We have Fire Island to talk about because we both watched that.
I am on my third watching of it, my third viewing.
We
On
have
my
to
third
talk
viewing.
about Our Flag Means Death still. So,
Oh my God,
I finished that. I don't know if you finished it, but I finished it.
I did, and I really. We can talk about the lack of diversity, but I think
Oh,
at its core, there was something really good there.
we'll talk
Yeah.
about it a different time. But anyway, I think that was the last question I had. Is there anything else you want to say or follow up on? Any other things that we've talked about?
Yeah. Yeah. Um,
Okay,
I
what?
just want to say, um, being queer, even though I said before that being a cis white gay man is the easiest type of queer you can be, obviously that is situation dependent. You know, if you have a really shitty family, even if you're cis white and gay, you can have a really shitty time. Being a member of the queer community, you are often showcased the worst parts of humanity.
Mm,
Um, you are often showed how terrible people can be from many standpoints, from religion, politics, family, friends, the world at large, even science with that whole gay blood band.
mm.
Ring a bell?
It does ring a bell. Hmm.
So I would just remind every queer person that you really need to balance that out with as much good as possible when it comes to being queer. So finding a community, friends, chosen family. When we talk about Fire Island, the film, we're gonna have a long conversation about chosen family. So
All
find that
right.
chosen family, find the queer content that you like, and just fill your life with it.
Mm.
Like, do not waste time becoming downtrodden in the muck of homophobia and things that are awful about the community that we are spewed that comes spewing at us from all these people. It's easy to get stuck in it. Sometimes we do have to pay attention to what's going on, obviously, but every other time, fill your life with positive queer experiences.
Mm. I
Because
live.
that is the one thing the straight community will never have that we have is our community, is the camaraderie we get, is the feeling of family, even though we're not related because we come from this shared experience.
Ah, well,
So
we
just,
are related, so.
I know, I mean, so just, yeah, balance out that negative with all the positive, and you will see that your life gets exponentially better.
I live. I absolutely live. Thank you so much for this interview, Pat.
I'm so sorry about my voice and the coughing. I really tried to be ready,
Mm.
and it didn't always sound good, but my thrusty is it survived.
All right. Well, next time, hopefully, I'm hoping we can interview Jackie for the next episode.
Yeah,
Um,
that dyke.
ah!
Don't worry, they don't listen to the podcast. They're never gonna know that I called him a dyke.
Thank you, everybody, for listening or watching this episode of the What's the Gays Thing podcast. Make sure you go and follow us on Twitter at WDTGT Podcast. Link is in the description. Give us a follow there. Or if you like games, you know, are you a gamer boy, or a gamer girl, or a gamer
Or a
non-binary
gamer
person?
binary. Oh my god, jinx.
Ah! If you're a gamer, come and follow us at What Do the Gamers Think? GAYMERS on Twitch. That's also a link in the description as well. We stream on Mondays and Thursdays currently, probably around 8 or 8 p.m. on like the East Coast time for the US. If you want some merch, check out our Redbubble. Or if you want to join our Discord and chat with us outside of
Mm.
these, go ahead. It's called Pride Empire. The link is also in the description. Thanks, everybody. And I am Mac Lubeck.
And I'm gay, Patrick.
I'm gay. Actually, I'm not.
Actually, I'm not. And you know what? He's gay. I mean, he's gay. I mean,
I mean,
he's blind.
he's blind.
Fucking
The youngest
stupid.
person to ever climb Mount Everest, and he's gay.
He's
I'm
gay.
gay. I mean,
Yeah,
blind.
blind. Hi, gay. Happy
Ha-
Blind Month.
ah! Happy Pride Month. Here at the okay, goodbye,
Here at
everybody.
the Butter Bar. Oh, bye. Oh, we're still recording.
Up.